Hi everybody, we are group 5 and we did our research study on the Wine Authority. Okay, so with the problem we were trying to find out is what are the motivations behind why and where consumers buy their wines? Are they more likely to shop in certain places, or is there something preventing them from shopping from a local wine bar? The benefit to the client is that it helps them better understand the consumer behavior and buying patterns of wines in the Richardson, Dallas, and Plano area. So our target group is the over 21 population in a 5-mile radius of the Wine Authority, which is located off of Custer and Lookout. And that features the cities of Richardson, Dallas, and Plano, which is 16 zip codes. And then we have a subgroup of respondents who drink and purchase wine, as well as somebody who purchases 3 or more bottles on a regular basis. And then finally, they didn't want anybody that was currently a customer to the Wine Authority. They were looking for newer customers.
So our research design and description of data was, for our sampling method, we did a convenience sample, and it was more like a snowball referral method. We posted it like on Facebook and shared it with our friends, and then we told them to share them with their friends. And since it's a like small zip code, it was a stratified sample. And our limitations, as mentioned before, is the age and zip code, and then we had a limited time to run the survey, and limited people. I guess if they don't have internet access, they can't do the survey. And then for our description of data, the survey consisted of 30 questions, and it ran for 7 days. And the questions were multiple choice, but some of the questions were a choose all type of multiple choice. So we had 4 screening questions in our survey to eliminate people who would not be eligible to complete the survey. And that was zip code, do they drink wine, and their age, and then of course number of bottles of wine that they purchased in a month. And we, as mentioned before, we kept it to multiple choice, closed-ended questions, and no Likert scale. We avoided open-ended questions, except at the end we asked if they were interested in learning more about Wine Authority, they could include their email. And we kept the questions short, simple, and to the point. And as mentioned earlier, we distributed mainly on Facebook and also sending it to our friends and family. The pre-test was a small sample size of 30 people, and we did that to see if we needed to remove any questions that were limiting it too much. And we found that we had too many filter questions. So we went back and we fixed it. And then for our data analysis strategy, we initially met with the Wine Authority and the head of marketing to gain better understanding of what they were hoping to gain from the survey results. And then we looked at the raw data from the surveys to see if the significant results were apparent. And through that, we ran the cross tabulations. And then with the significant data, we have made some recommendations to Wine Authority.
So some of our visuals here is an age and wine preference. So for the most part, for ages 21 to 25, 26 to 35, 30, and 36 to 50, the large chunk was coming from wine, being white wine, the main preference between these age groups. Although 36 to 50, it was red wine that was the favorite. But for the other two, over 65, 51 to 65, it was once again white wine being the number one, with champagne being the only large fraction in 26 to 35 and over 65. And then here we have income and wine education. So similar trend among all these, the less than 25,000, 25,000 under 50,000, 50,000 under 75,000, and 75,000 under 100,000, all looked at friends and family for the most part when they came to their wine recommendations. But those with an income over 100,000 would usually prefer having also friends and family, but they had a sales associate was there a large portion for those as well. With sales associate also coming in number 2 for less than 25,000, which was an interesting factor that we found. So here we have wine consumption education. For the most part, or wine consumption education, yeah, for the most part, 2 to 3 times a week, or at least once a week, was a large majority of how often people were drinking wine. And then where do you typically learn for your wine choices? Friends and family, sales associates, once again, large too, with also waiters and waitress recommendations being a good chunk of those. And then reasons for wine consumption and amount spent. So the main reason was either social or relaxation. The health benefits, culture, and other really didn't play too many roles in that. And also for the amount spent, usually people would spend between $11 and $25 per bottle of wine.
Okay, so when we ran the cross tabulations, we actually had a lot that were significant, so we ran it looking for significance over 0.0399. And a couple of the main ones we just wanted to point out is that higher income respondents preferred red wine, female respondents preferred white wine, and between the ages of 36 and 50, they had a preference of red wine as well. For respondents between the ages of 26 and 35 and 51 through 65, they were more likely to buy direct from a winery instead of a grocery store or a local wine shop. And respondents with a higher income obviously bought more bottles of wine. And for the travel distance, there was a significance that males didn't want to travel any further than 5 miles to buy a bottle of wine. And then of those who previously had a wine membership, they canceled because the cost was too high. Finally, we have one that was interesting but not as significant, but respondents with a higher income learned about their wine more from a wine professional.
And our finding is that 84% of the time consumer drinks wine for social event or just to relax. And consumers prefer to buy their wine at grocery store or wine beer superstores. And that all ages are more willing to pay $11 to $25 for a monthly wine membership. And they also like to keep their price for a bottle of wine between $11 to $25. And 70% of consumers would travel less than 10 miles to buy wine. And 66% of them would consider a wine membership, and about 60% of those would pay for wine. And 80% of consumers say they learn about their wine through friends or family. And the next highest being 30% from a sales associate or waiter. And our recommendation for that is that they can host wine-specific tasting event to increase sales. This wine event could focus on red or wine-specific wines, since that's the larger majority of what consumer drinks. And host one summer rose tastings and one champagne around New Year's as special events. And they can also employ word of mouth marketing by providing no membership fee for first month of anyone that was referred. And they can also target customers who are at the age of 21 to 25 to become their members, since they can become members for a long time. And this is our sample structure, and there's 51% for the age of 21 to 25 years old, and most of them are females. And their education is bachelor's degree in college, and the household income is over 100,000. That's it.
Thank you.